Hello, officials, and welcome to week 0 of the 2025 WHSAA football season. This is Tyler Spear, your state coordinator of football officials. Thank you for your time. Looking forward to another great season under the lights here and another year of film study that we'll use to all just get better and improve our craft across the Cowboy State. As promised, and as we've talked about a lot, or you've read a lot in the weekly email, we're going to highlight some holding penalties this week. And I fondly title this particular video, "That's Holding," because these are calls that we should definitely be getting, but I want to walk through each of them and kind of show you what those indicators are just so that you can see them. They don't get any bigger than what you're about to see on these particular plays. And that's just the way we want it, right? We don't want to throw holds that are hard to see or that are marginal. We want these to be huge, right? And so as we go into this season, I'd encourage you to make the holds that you throw just as big as the ones you see here. I want to give a special shout out to our friend Ed Camp for sharing this film with me. It's been a joy to have him as a friend and as a supporter of all of our football officials here in Wyoming. And that includes him sharing some awesome film with us. So let's go ahead and get started. All righty here. Let's go. There we go. Got to find the right clip here real quick, and I think I have it. And just let it play through. All right, so when we look at this particular clip, what we're looking at here is definitely something that we'd see at the point of attack. And that's one of the big key indicators when we look at holding is we want this to be something that is at the point of attack. We don't want something off to the side on this particular type of thing. And so we're going to be looking at 91 here. He's our defensive tackle that's going to be encumbered here on this play that comes his direction. I'm going to let this go and play, and then we'll slow-mo it a little bit here in a sec. And so as you see 91, he beats that first guy, and then the puller gets him, and you see that kind of side, hands outside the frame, and then he brings him to the ground. Okay, let's back this up. I'll let it go full speed. But one of the things I want you to just see on this is that it kind of looks from this angle like maybe, is it enough? Did he pull the other person down? That type of a thing. So that can be a question. But if we go ahead and move forward, I think this angle is going to help us a lot with seeing what this actually looks like. So that tight end loops around, and it looks pretty darn good. Looks like a takedown right at the point of attack. And so on this one, when we look at who this person is, it's our tight end here that is the cause of all this. And so wings, this is going to be something you're going to have an opinion on, right? And so as we come through here, he loops around the pulling guard, hands outside the frame, point of attack. And you can see right here, he's reaching with this arm here, and this arm is wrapped up. And that's our key indicator here. This guy probably makes the tackle if he's not encumbered that way. And then obviously drives him to the ground, which that doesn't help either. So yeah, when we look at plays like this, I think that's the kind of thing we want to look for is that material restriction, the location, the point of attack. That makes this one pretty darn easy. And one more look at it here. I mean, didn't make a lot more yards, but that certainly took away 91's ability to make that tackle. We find us one more angle here. This is the end zone view. I always think this is a helpful view too. Great work by 91 that was just kind of restricted there at the end and prevented him from making the tackle. So again, point of attack is key on this one. This guy should have our attention from the get-go because he's that nearest threat to the potential ball carrier here. And yeah, it just looks like he didn't quite have his ability to get at that ball carrier. So supported at the college level and would be supported at our level a hold on this situation. Now that one there, I don't know. They say it's supported. I like it, but glaring, we can grow on this, right? And so let's go ahead. I'll let this next one go through here. And this one's a real easy one, but this is one that we're going to see a lot at our level. So let me back this up for us. Um, very often one of the ones we're going to see at our level is the defensive end beating the tackle. And so as we look at this, we're obviously looking at this block right here. And as you can see right away, the defender makes a good move. And our offensive player, I mean, we're bear hugging out here. So obviously this draws our attention. Referees, this guy's going to become our quickest threat on our quarterback. So we should have a really good look at this, not to mention that tackle is our key as this play begins. So if I back up, oh, hang on a second here. So referees, if we're over here, we're looking through our quarterback to this tackle right here. Okay, so the referee's over here, and we're looking through QBRB to this tackle right here. That's our indicator. And so this one really is right in our lap. We're going to have a really good look at this. And then obviously he's the nearest threat. I mean, this is just as big as it gets. A little shove by 69 doesn't help. This is clearly a material restriction. It's a good view from the end zone, and you're going to see the tackle here. And the old adage, as they say, is when you're beat, you cheat. And that's cheating. And then of course the international symbol of throw a flag on me right there. I didn't do it. Absolutely, that's a hold. And so obviously we're wanting to throw that one. I'll give you one more look at it here. I do believe. Wrong camera. Here we go. This is the other side view that we want to look at. And again, it's pretty clear from the get-go that this is pretty heavy material restriction. May all of our holds be that big. All right. The next one we're going to go to here. Make sure I have the right angle of this one here. Let's go to the next play. Excuse me. All righty, here we go. Thanks for your patience with this. Look at our nose tackle right here in the middle. He's going to be the person we're watching here. So as we get started here, umpires, this is a really good cue for you here. Remember, we're starting guard, center, guard. And our guard here is clearly looking to move to the double team here. And so that's not going to be anything we spend a lot of time on. And this particular play right here with the center is going to be probably our first look. And that's why we keep our eyes on the guard, center, guard there. Go ahead and do this again slowly. Again, pretty blatant. Umpire, this is all you. Maybe a wing has a chance to see this, but realistically, umpire, this is all you. And you've got the potentially hands to a face. And then that is what we call a pull down, where he just loses his feet and then pulls the defender down with him. Again, at the point of attack, that block by 69 or 68 also looks a little troubling. A wing or a back judge might have a look at that. But again, here they're trying to run this little stretch play, and as clear as can be on a pull down there, and 68 even too potentially on that one as well. So again, make sure umpires that we're looking guard, center, guard, and that we get eyes on this one because literally this is the block that sprung the play. He goes right in that hole and probably tackle at the line if not for that material restriction. All righty, next play here. The 91 is our defender, 77 is our blocker, so that's where we're looking. And by this angle, you might scratch your head a little bit on this one because, I mean, we've got hands out the frame, 77 turns and throws, and then 91 pulls him down. And you might think to yourself, well, is that enough, or is it the pull down by the defender that makes this look into a foul? It's a fair question, but if we jump to additional angles here, I think this here is going to give us a great view. Again, umpires, this is right where you guys eat. So guard, center, guard, they do the little adjustment. Pretty straightforward, and we can see hands outside the frame pretty quickly. And then the hip toss by the offensive player. So even though the defender still hangs on, that's a pretty easy one for us to get. I'm going to give it to you again at full speed here. So our indicator's hands outside the frame. It goes right at the point of attack and chucks him down. So pretty darn straightforward, don't you think? I'll give you a couple more views of this one. Again, this is why we have our keys and where we need to maintain those on these running plays. I think that's a pretty good look at it. But again, we got to make sure we see the whole thing because if we just see the end of this, we think, the defender pulled him down. It's nothing. But I mean, that is as good of a hip check as you're going to find to bring that guy over. All righty, one more. I think the takeaway from this one, folks, and we'll look at some other angles here, is we need to know when we step on a field, and we can do a lot of this through our film study before a game or in the pregame as well. We need to know who our studs are for both teams because those guys are just able to make plays differently than the rest of the dudes on the field. And that's what you're seeing here with this tackle who does everything he can to keep the end away or the outside backer away from his quarterback. So if we go ahead and jump to our next angle here, this is a really good view of this. And again, we're going to have this player here, if it'll let me draw, there he is. This player here is going to be our focus, and he's obviously reading pass, but you're going to see the work of the D lineman here as part of this. Nice little crash in, and then you have the outside person follow suit. It's a really good defensive strategy, of course. And then what you have is you have an athlete against a mouth breather. And sometimes, more often than not, those athletes, he makes a great move, puts the offensive player in a really bad blocking position. He's beat. And then you can just see, look at the way the hips buckle here. That is the indicator we're looking for, right? This guy, an athlete, has his ability to move taken away from him. And so that's what makes this clearly a foul. We'll do it again in full speed here. And so again, when we're judging holding, I think one of the key things that we can look at is did our athletes have the opportunity to make a play, or was that opportunity taken away from them? And our tell, really easy tell, is the hips, the shoulders, and the feet can also be a good tell. But that there makes it pretty darn easy for us to make a determination on that. So great move that was then taken away with the really bad blocking, and that led to that foul. One more look here. I like this view a lot because it gets us kind of a little bit more in the catbird seat here. Man, just a great move. And then 78 just keeps him off his QB. I mean, you got to give him some credit for that. He did his job there. But, the crash down 43, we're outside, we're beat. Those are the ones we've got to get, right? So, all this to say, guys, when we look at holding, think about proximity, think about athletes being able to make plays or have that opportunity taken away from them. And just like you saw on each of these plays, make them this big, because when they're this big, there's nobody that's going to ever question whether that was a hold or not. All right, friends, that's what I have for you this week. Make them this big, make it be there, and have just a great week under the lights across our state. Again, this is Tyler Spear, your state coordinator of football officials. Thank you for your time, and take care.